Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Greg Dolan. I'm the Executive Director here at DCAT, and I am joined by the lovely...
I'm Gayla Bartlett, and I'm the Underwriting Coordinator and Community Relations Person here. So excited.
Yeah, this is an awesome day. This is
Community
one of my favorites.
Connections. So we have about 20 plus nonprofits in the house here tonight to talk about all the good and wonderful things that they do. And do you know that today is National Acts of Kindness Day?
I didn't know that, but it is fitting. So
Isn't it
that's
fitting?
great. Yeah, that's awesome.
Because these organizations are doing acts of kindness every single day, everywhere that they go.
Yeah, so one of the things I've been really impressed with is just how many organizations there are in town and how many people spend so much time trying to do good in their spare time as volunteers, and all the staff of these organizations are incredible. So it's fun just to kind of get a taste of what's going on in Danvers.
Absolutely, and it is definitely a wonderful networking opportunity as well, so people can come together that are in the nonprofit sector and learn from each other and network, so that's always exciting. And just so you guys know, they're all eating wonderful food from Texas Roadhouse. They were our food sponsor tonight, so that's always exciting when we have Texas Roadhouse in the
I was
house.
pretty excited to have some rolls before we started here.
Absolutely.
That's great. So I don't know if you want to throw it into our first segment
absolutely.
or if we should
What do you
ramble
think?
on. I think people
I
would
think
rather
they're
see
ready.
Lila
Are
than
you
see me.
excited?
Okay.
All right, we're going into David, aren't we?
Yep. So take it away, guys.
Oh, hello, everybody. Yeah, sorry. So we're just getting settled over here. So David Rodriguez, Public Access Coordinator from Danvers Community Access Television here. I'm joined with Lila Harrod from Danvers Cares. Lila, I know you've been here in the past, but thank you again for coming and supporting our program, as well as for what you do with Danvers Cares.
Of course. Hey, thanks for having me, David.
Yeah, no problem. So let's get started off for those who aren't super familiar, just about a little bit about Danvers Cares and what you guys bring to the community.
Sure. So we're a grant-funded program of the Danvers Public Schools. So we do a lot of youth development programs, youth leadership programs, parent education programs. So we do all sorts of stuff.
Awesome. So we don't have a lot of time here, so I think it's important to just jump into some of the bigger issues that are kind of affecting our community.
Please.
So vaping, right? There's no sort of hiding it, unfortunately. What can you speak to in terms of the Danvers schools and how they're responding to the vaping issues?
So, in addition to adding new components for high school health and wellness classes, we also have mentoring programs where we have senior athletes mentor freshman athletes. That's called the Atlas and Athena mentoring program. We partner with the PASS Diversion program, which PASS stands for the Positive Alternatives to Student Suspension, which is a new program out of Beverly, which provides behavioral health and other different types of support for students if they get caught vaping. So rather than taking a punitive approach, we're looking at more restorative approaches. And then also we have the youth leaders in the school working on social norms campaigns. So working on changing the way that people think about vaping and that their peers think about vaping, and then promoting a lot of positive alternatives to an activity like vaping.
That's positive is the word I've heard you use a couple times, and I've heard you use it in the past. And I know that's something that Danvers Cares absolutely stresses in these situations is just the positive influence and the positive ways to approach things, because you can speak to this I'm sure better than I can, but just the negative approach, sometimes it doesn't necessarily have the impact that you think it would.
That's right. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of how we're how we were brought up, and the school, I feel, and the community as a whole has really embraced a more positive approach. And that's right. It's one of my favorite words. Keep it positive.
There you go. So we touched on vaping. What other sort of programs are coming up for Danvers Cares?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we have on December 3rd, we have a TIPS training, which is for businesses that serve alcohol, have liquor licenses. So either at a restaurant or, if you're a if you're a commercial retailer or something like that, they can send staff for free to be trained. On December 7th, Danvers Cares is helping out with the Winter Holiday Downtown Festival.
Yeah.
In addition to a whole bunch of other fun events, including the Santa tree lighting, the Danvers Cares youth will be helping out at East Boston Savings Bank, where Santa will be visiting and taking pictures with families. And we'll also have people helping out over at Maple Street Church. They give out cocoa and do some other fun stuff every year. And this year, the Danvers Cares youth leaders are going to be giving out non-alcoholic festive drink recipes as a part of the Holiday Cheer Doesn't Come in a Bottle campaign.
Oh, perfect.
And they're going to be giving out samples for the drinks. So come on by.
Absolutely. Please stop on by.
Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot a couple too.
Oh, please go right ahead.
Thank you. On December 10th, we were just talking about vaping.
Yep.
We have Ashley Hall. She's from the Northeast Tobacco Free Community Partnership. She's an expert on vaping and the sort of trends and ways that you can talk to your young people. So if you're interested in learning more or interested in seeing some of those products firsthand, this is a great way to do that. Again, it's December 10th. It's at the high school from 6 to 7 p.m. Yeah, and also I wanted to sort of throw out an opportunity to parents and people watching. If you're a parent of a Danvers student and you have an idea for a speaker or a topic that you'd like to see covered or addressed at your school, you can feel free to contact me because I'm always open to covering new topics of interest to people and making sure that we're being responsive to the community. So my email is lilaherod@danvers.org. You can just go to danverscares.org to get in touch with me that way.
Perfect. Yeah, and I know we're running out of time here, so if we could touch on it quickly. I know you touched on a lot of the events that are coming up, which is great. The Light the Night Purple Walk. I know it's something we filmed in the past. That seems to be pretty successful. I don't know if you could touch on that real quick for the viewers at home.
Of course, yeah. So this is going to be this coming May will be our 5th annual Light the Night Purple Community Opiate Awareness Walk. So everyone in the community is welcome. We always are happy to have business sponsors and tons of buy-in from the community and from the youth here in Danvers. So yeah, we don't have a date yet, but you can anticipate that in the middle of May that we'll still be having the walk. So if you're interested in helping out, again, go to danverscares.org and get in contact with me.
Perfect. danverscares.org. Lila, thanks as always for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. And it looks like, do I see a John Call over there? John, is that you?
You do, David. Thank you. Hello, Danvers, and welcome to Community Connections from me. I know you've already been welcomed from our staff here. So I'm here this evening with Cheryl James from Danvers Family Festival. Hey, Cheryl, how are you?
Hi, John. How are you?
Excellent, thanks.
Good.
Long time no see.
I know, right?
I know I was on the board for a long, long time, but I know Danvers Family Festival has been around for a long time, right?
Right. I'm going to actually read these answers specifically because I have so many wonderful things I want to fit in the amount of time.
Excellent. Go right ahead.
So 40 years, the volunteer board of directors has been organizing the festival, including 6 to 8 key events of our own, incorporating 20 to 25 civic organization events under the DFF or Danvers Family Festival umbrella, allowing the citizens of Danvers the benefit of 30-plus events in the 2 weeks leading up to the 4th of July.
And I know that it is a ton of work, and the directors really work on this all year round to pull off really all 30 events. Even though the civic organizations do their own events, it all has to be incorporated and rolled in under the umbrella, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We all communicate and coordinate dates and what their events are going to be, try not to overlap things. So, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm thinking that you guys are in need of more directors this year.
Yeah, there was a time not too long ago that we used to have 25 to 30 board members to help with the task of organizing all our activities, which we know it's pretty involved. Unfortunately, over the past 20 years, as I think a lot of organizations have experienced, volunteerism is dropping, and not just in Danvers, but across the country. And it's at its lowest point since 2005. A university in Maryland, you want to hear a study, showed that 90% of us want to volunteer, but only 1 in 4 actually do. It seems like we all have busy schedules when we do, but it's a way to find time to help.
Right, and I guess it really comes down to if you like the festival, you need to volunteer to help make sure it happens year after year after year, correct?
Right, absolutely. It's daunting for the few that are doing it right now, and we're out there asking for help.
Excellent. So I think that's the net takeaway is Danvers Family Festival needs your help. If you enjoy the festival, if you or your family, if it's been a part of your life for a long time, now's the time to get involved, right?
Absolutely. We'd love to see you. Our next our meeting is January 14th, and it's here at DCAT. They're so wonderful hosting us here in the conference room, and we need board members. We need help. We need you.
So your meeting is in January. It's the second Tuesday of each month that
Right,
you meet at.
right.
And how long do your meetings usually run?
I'm a record setter with as chair. Usually about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes.
Right.
We're in and out. And,
So you have 6 more meetings between now and the next festival. So you're talking about 9, 12 hours
Right.
of commitment. So if you like the festival, join the board.
Thank you. Thanks,
You're welcome.
John.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thanks,
it's great seeing
DCAT.
you again, and have a great year.
All right. Thank
David,
you.
over to you.
Thank you, John. So I'm here with a very special guest from the Danvers Girl Scouts. Thank you for joining us on TV today. I was wondering if you could just start by introducing yourself to the people watching at home.
My name is Abigail Toomey.
Awesome, Abigail. Welcome to Community Connections. And I see you have your uniform there. I was wondering if you could just tell me a little bit about it.
You can tell it's a Daisy uniform because it's blue and it has the petals and it has all my fun badges on the back.
And what sort of interesting badges have you earned or worked on recently?
The Making New Friends badge.
Making new friends? What did you have to do for that?
Just make new friends.
Just make new friends. Hey, that's a big part of the game, right? Being friendly, being nice to each other. Awesome, perfect. What does your troop earn with those, or what does your troop do with the money that you guys get from the Girl Scout cookies, which I know we all love so much?
We save it for fun stuff to do.
Awesome. Can you think of any fun things that you've done in the past?
Caroling.
Caroling? Great. Did you have a favorite song that you sung?
Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman. Do you want to sing right now for the people at home?
No.
No, that's okay. You don't need to sing for the people at home. That's totally fine. So we touched on the Girl Scout cookies. I know I'm interested. I know John's interested as well. Where can we get some of those Girl Scout cookies?
Cookie season runs December through February.
Cookie season runs December through February. You hear that, folks? So get ready. Stay hungry. I know many of us are. Do you have a favorite cookie yourself?
Lemon kind.
Which ones?
Lemon.
The lemon ones, perfect. I'm a big fan of the Thin Mints myself. It's just there's something about them, and they say that they're thin, and you feel like, all right, I'll only eat one of them, but then you end up eating 6 of them, and all of a sudden time just flies by. Well, Abigail, thank you so much for joining us today. Would you recommend at home, if people are interested in joining the Danvers Girl Scouts, that they should? Do you think it's a good time?
Yes.
Perfect. So you heard it from here, folks. Abigail, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to send it back over to John.
Thank you, David. Only eating 6 of them. Good for you. I eat the whole sleeve once I open them. Love those Girl Scout cookies. So I'm joined here with Tony from the Musery. Welcome. Thanks for joining us on Community Connections.
Thanks, John. Great to be here.
Can you tell us what the Musery is?
Sure. The Musery is a recognized 501c nonprofit organization that helps aspiring musicians at any age use instruments. It's like a book depository for instruments. So if a child that wants to learn how to play an instrument, they can come to us and we can let them use that instrument just like checking out a library book.
Right,
And
that's great. So you really let them use it for free. So when they want to try the piccolo, they get a piccolo, take it home. If they decide they don't like the piccolo, it didn't cost them any money to go out and buy one to find out that they were no good at the piccolo, right?
Exactly. I think that's a great example. And using the piccolo, again, you can come back and try a trumpet or try another instrument. And it really has helped the community and inspiring musicians that wouldn't have the resource to do that. And we're lending instruments actually across the world now. We get some
excellent.
instruments in Far East and also in some parts of Africa.
Huh,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah.
So how can people help you?
So how can people help us? That's a great question. First of all, we're always taking donations for instruments that are laying around the attic, that are in the garage. You don't know what to do with them. The Musery will be more than happy to take them off your hands. Second of all, we're having our gala event that we have annually, our Symphony of Trees that's held at Woodman's over in Essex, where we decorate about 50 or 60 Christmas trees and donations from across all the very, very generous business community on the North Shore. We decorate the trees and we have a night with music and with bidding on trees and auction items and so forth, and that's our major fundraiser.
That's excellent. When's that?
That would be Saturday, December 7th. Yep,
And how would people find out more information about that?
absolutely. Themusery.org would be a great place to start for more information and for purchasing of tickets.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds like a wonderful event, and hopefully I can make it. I'd love to go there. I have an organ. It's a house organ. Is that something you guys could use?
That is usually the number one call that we
Donated
get for
item.
pianos
Oh,
or organs.
really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you could use the
people,
organ?
So people, once we find a home for the organ or a piano, we'll be more than happy to take it off of a donation's hands. But those
Great.
are probably the toughest to find homes for something that size.
Right.
people are
would
trying to
think
get
so.
rid of. But we're open to all calls.
There you
We
go.
don't say no to
Wonderful.
anything. Thank you.
Anything else that comes to mind that people at Danvers need to know about?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all. Yeah.
And you have a good selection of instruments?
We have a great selection of instruments, and actually we have touched probably over 2,000 aspiring musicians as of today.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, it's
Wow.
absolutely unbelievable, and it just continues to grow. This is our 5th year with the gala event for the Symphony of Trees, and each year it continues to grow and grow with some great corporate sponsors like Jay Barrett and Associates and Bond Brothers have stepped up and really have helped and support our mission, and that helps again the inspiring musician
That is
at
wonderful.
any age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Tony, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good luck with the gala this year. Hopefully I'll be able to attend. And if you're looking for information, go to their website and purchase a ticket.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thanks again.
Thank you.
David, over to you.
Thank you, John. I'm here with Elizabeth from Hawk. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Community Connections. I was wondering if you could just start off by introducing yourself, your role within the organization, as well as just a little bit about Hawk for people who aren't familiar.
Absolutely, I'm thrilled to be here. So my name is Elizabeth Nash Wren. My title is fancy. It is Senior Manager of Educational Programming.
Oh, okay.
And what that means is we're a domestic violence agency. And so our services are really to reach out and care for and intervene and provide safety and education around domestic violence. So that is my role as an educator. I'm a social worker by training, and I'm an educator in the community.
Are you able to just touch on a little bit of the history of Hawk?
Absolutely. So Hawk started about 41 years ago. We celebrated our 40th year last year. When we started, we were helping abused women and children, which really speaks to what was happening in the movement then. About 10 years ago, we changed our name to Healing Abuse, Working for Change. And what that speaks to is we're really open to helping any and all folks who are being abused or in an unsafe situation, whether they are men, women, non-binary, no matter who you are. And in addition, we're working for change. We're educators. We're working to make public health change in the communities we serve.
So, that's clearly, you're clearly helping people in a time of desperate need.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could just speak to some of the core services that Hawk does offer.
Absolutely. So our services, we always say, are free and confidential to the furthest extent of the law. Probably our core service is our community advocacy, and that's kind of a case model where you can go into one of our offices. We have offices in Lynn, Salem, and Gloucester, as well as a site, Crossroads at North Shore Medical Center. And you can go in and meet with someone and just tell them what's going on. We really look for the survivor to speak to us about what they might need help with, and it's about finding resources, increasing safety, education. We also have a shelter, a family shelter on the North Shore. In addition to legal services, we have a strong legal program. We're going to try and do our best to make sure you have the education you need to navigate all the systems to increase your safety.
So one word you really spoke to right there was confidential, and I think that's one thing that I know, I can't say from experience necessarily, but I know a lot of people do have that fear of, they just don't want that information out there, or they just don't feel comfortable with it. So that's something that I know you just stressed right there, though, is that these sessions or these conversations, they can be confidential to the fullest extent of the law. Is that correct?
Exactly, that's right. We are community driven intentionally. So we're in the communities we live in, we're in the communities we know. So it's by design that you may see some people you know when you come into the office. But we are professionals, and we are there to embrace you and let you know you're not alone, and we are here to work with you and companion you. And by all means, your privacy will be protected.
That's wonderful, and that sounds like a really just a supportive organization that, in a time of need, again, where people do need that support. So grateful that you are able to offer that to the community. So we're touching on really important issues right here. So how common is domestic violence?
It's a really great question. So research shows us that between 1 in 3 to 1 in 4 women will be impacted by intimate partner violence in their lifetime. Statistics with men is a little more challenging because they're not always first to come forward, right? So we know that there's a large level. So I've worked in the field for about 15 years, and people often say to me, I don't know how you work with survivors. I don't know how you do that work. And my job is to remind people everybody works with survivors. That if you work at 7-Eleven, you work with survivors. If you work in the lunchroom, you work with survivors. So as an educator, my hope is to realize that you're already doing the work. It's okay to lean in. It's okay to talk about it, right?
It really does hurt to just hear that. Unfortunately, it can be that common. I mean, you said roughly 1 in 3, 1 in 4 women. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right.
We as a society, I know we wish that didn't necessarily occur. Unfortunately, it does occur. So it's great to just hear that Hawk is able to at least just give some sort of guidance resources for those who are suffering. And for those at home who hear your message and they think to themselves, I would like to get involved, what can you offer them, or what can you guide them with?
Sure. So there's a number of things that we do. I'm an educator. I go out and speak to groups and organizations. I work with everyone from inmates to corrections officers to Girl Scouts and everybody in between, anyone who's willing to lean in and kind of have these conversations. Our website has a wealth of information about our services, the ways you can get involved. We continuously have community events in an effort to fundraise and raise education. Our website is HAWCDV. It's HAWCDV as in domesticviolence.org. Right now we're really focusing on our gift program, and that is an opportunity for folks to donate gifts. We really focus on gift cards a lot too. Ideally what we want is the people in our care to be able to shop for their children the same way everybody wants to shop for their children around the holidays. So we fundraise and we put together gift bags. So if people are interested in participating in our gift program, they can go to the website. We are looking for gifts to be donated, nonviolent, gender inclusive, and really just gifts that you think families of all ages would enjoy, in addition to gift cards around the holidays.
That's wonderful, especially this time of year where, there's the inclusiveness, family matters so much. So to have a program like that where people can feel involved, and if they're not able to do it on their own, just to have those resources that they can rely on. So it's hawkdv.org, is that correct?
Correct. HAWCDV.org.
Perfect. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us today. We do appreciate it. And I'm going to send it back over to John right now.
Thank you, David. I'm joined here by Cindy from North Shore Women in Business. Welcome, Cindy. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. So I know a little bit about the organization, but can you tell our viewers at home what North Shore Women in Business is all about?
It is an organization that's been around for about 35 years. Started with 18 people, and we're hovering around 100 members right now in the organization. So,
That's great.
Yep. It's really had a big increase in the last couple of years. Mo Lavassa, who was the last president, really brought the organization back, and I'm happy to have continuing her services.
That's great.
Yeah.
So where do you meet?
We meet at various locations. We usually have 2 venues, 2 activities a month. The last Monday of every month, we meet at Endicott Grill in Danvers, and that is a free event for anyone who wants to come just check us out. And then we have, and the third Thursday of the month, we have another event that's a paid event, and that it varies by location.
And so when people come to the Tuesday night event, is that what it is?
Monday night.
Monday night.
The last Monday night. It's called the Monday Mixer.
Yeah. And so what goes on there? What happens? What can people expect if they come to that?
If they come to it, the first half an hour is usually just general networking, and then we kind of sit down. Everyone gets a chance to do their commercial and say who they are, and then we have like some light appetizers, and then it ends with a half an hour of mixing as well.
So the organization is more than just camaraderie among women in business, but it's a networking opportunity as well, and trying to generate business for their fellow members, correct?
Definitely. I mean, there is a lot of camaraderie that goes around the group, and that's one thing that I really like about it. But it definitely is a means of getting your business out there and helping to help. We're all helping each other to grow our businesses. So.
That's excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, which is important.
It is important.
Is there a fee to join?
The fee right now is $75 to join. That's an annual fee. That will be going up on January 1st to $99. We're one of the least expensive networking organizations out there. You get a lot for your $99 or $75 before the first of the year. You get discounted rates when you come to events when there is a paid event.
And what typically do paid events go for?
The most that it usually is around $35, maybe $40.
But there are
Max.
some that are less than that as
Oh,
well.
definitely. There's some that are less. It depends on what the event is.
Right. So if you're thinking about it, women, join before the end of the year and save yourself some money.
There you go.
That'll cover one of the events, maybe.
There you go. Definitely.
And what kind of are the benefits? We talked a little bit about the camaraderie and the networking opportunity, but what other benefits are there to joining the organization?
So you'll have your name on our directory on our website. You also have opportunities to be a speaker if you want to speak at some events. You can also promote your stuff on our website and on our Facebook page. Those are all, and then you get the discounted rate when you come to events. So there's a lot to be had. You can even pay for banners on our website and advertise that way. So we really are trying to help people more with their events and trying to get our members to go to them. Tomorrow is our next event, which is at the Hawthorne Hotel in Salem. And it is the 14th Annual Women's Symposium that's run by Salem State University. So we are in conjunction with them on that. We have about 25 members that'll be going tomorrow morning. It's a great event. So
That's excellent.
Yep.
Those other events, both morning and evening events, so it's not all at night or all in the morning?
Generally, they're evening events. This one is not obviously under our control as far as the timing
Right.
goes, but usually they are early evening events.
Good, excellent. And would you say that, what's the breakup between women that own their own business or women that work for someone in a business?
That's a good question. I don't know that I know the statistics on that, but either way, whether you own a business or whether you just work in a business, I think the difference between a women-led organization like this is it's more relaxed. One of our last events, there was, we were all doing our commercials and somebody commented on somebody's really cool boots that they had. And I said, that wouldn't happen at a guy event. That just doesn't happen. So it's really fun, the camaraderie, and everyone kind of works together and helps people. So it's a really great community.
Yeah, I would think it would be. Sounds like a wonderful organization. I know some of the women that are in it, and so I'm glad that it's working out for you. Glad you enjoy it. Hopefully, are you looking for new members? Is there a membership drive or anything like that?
We are constantly looking for new members. We may have a membership drive this year. I haven't put that together yet. I just took over as president about a little bit over a month ago.
Oh,
so,
congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm really having a ton of fun with it. I love being part of the organization, so it was a perfect fit for me. But yes, we're definitely looking for members to join. So
Excellent. Well, if you're in a business organization, now women join the North Shore Business Women.
Women in business.
Thank you.
Yes.
And do it before the end of the year and save yourself some money.
Yep.
Cindy, it's been great seeing you again. Say hello to Mo for me
I will.
when you see her. I haven't seen her in quite some time from Kiwanis, but tell her I said hello.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Have a wonderful year.
Thank you.
David, over to you.
Thank you, John. I'm here with Kirsten from North Shore Pride. Kirsten, I know we've had representatives from North Shore Pride in the past, but I was wondering if you could just go a little bit into the background of North Shore Pride in terms of who they are as an organization, just so the people at home are familiar.
So North Shore Pride has been in existence now. We're going on our 8th year. So Hope Wapuchi was one of the the person who actually was founded the organization. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Hope's been here in the past.
Yeah,
She's
she has.
wonderful.
Hope's amazing.
She's wonderful.
So the organization is really about education and advocacy, really bringing unity to our community. And we are, we do trainings. We have our events. So our trainings are really important for local businesses and local organizations where we do gender identity and sexual orientation in the workplace. So we have been really excited about how that's been taking off. More and more businesses have been reaching out, and we've been able to be in the community to educate folks.
That's wonderful, because education, I think, it's key, right?
It sure is.
It's something that I know as a society we weren't necessarily comfortable talking about. So just being more and more open to this sort of subject and just having, again, just being willing to learn, I think is a big part of it as well.
It sure is.
So I was wondering if you could just talk to just some of the, we touched on it a little bit before we came on air, but just some of the changes in terms of I believe you said the mission or the vision specifically for North Shore Pride?
Nope, it was actually, we talked about a networking event.
Networking, that's what it was, my
event.
mistake.
So the last couple of years, we've had this once a year huge networking event where we've brought in keynote speakers. It's been great, it's been wonderful. But we realized the most important thing is because we're North Shore Pride and we really want to bring education and bring networking to all of the local towns, because not everyone can come to the once a year event. So we have decided this year, for 2020, we are going to be doing smaller networking events in local towns where not only will we be bringing our community together, but we're also picking certain businesses so that we can also come and provide financial support so that we, bring that into the business into the town as well.
That's wonderful. So that's something definitely to look. Are there any finalized dates or anything, or is it still up in the air?
It's up in the air. I know
Okay.
that we're going to start kicking off in February, which I believe will be in Lynn. We're looking at Lynn, Gloucester, and Beverly to start off with. So keep your eyes open. We'll have that up on our website soon enough.
Perfect. What's that website, just for people at home?
It is northshorepride.org.
Perfect. I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about, so you touched on some of the events right there, but just is there any other, anything else people at home should be aware of in terms of just outreach and different events going on within North Shore Pride that they should be on the lookout for?
So we Well, other than what we're going to be kicking off in 2020 with our networking event, we
Yeah.
are planning for our huge festival. And again, we're always doing trainings, so we don't have anything specific that is set up. However, again, it's always look at the calendar, go onto our website and see where we're going to be. And if any business organizations would love to have one of our trainings, Hope and the rest of the board that does the training, it's amazing. It's as I said, gender identity and sexual orientation in the workplace.
So for those at home who are interested in getting involved, what would you recommend to them as the first step?
First step in as far as joining the board or
yeah,
coming
well, I guess,
to
well, I guess
to an
potentially
event?
both if they're interested.
So we're always looking for new board members, both of the LGBT community as well as allies. I think it's really important for our diversity. This year, our theme is unifying community, which is, as you can understand, we've had a little switch back with going back into the ways of folks in the community being ostracized with all the new laws being reversed. It's really important for us to provide the education about removing prejudice and stigma. So we're really excited about having new board members come on, or people that are interested in wanting to learn more. Definitely go to our website, reach out, send an email, and one of us will get back to you, and we would love to have you come in and sit with us.
Wonderful. That's great to hear. So, Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know if you have any last-minute words for the folks at home, or if you just want to say your pleasant goodbyes.
Well, I just want to thank you for having us, and
Yeah.
we look forward. We hope that you will all come out in June of next year to our huge event that we have, our North Shore Pride event, which is on Salem Common. It is the last Saturday of the month, and it is going to be a fabulous time.
Awesome. So mark that down in your calendar, the last Saturday of June. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kirsten. And I believe, I don't know where we're sending it back to, John, potentially going to over Greg and Gayla, if that's correct?
And Justin.
Hello.
We are excited. You know, DCAT, one of the greatest things about DCAT is the volunteers. So you can be any age, practically, and be a volunteer here at DCAT. Justin, you're amazing. So
Thank
tell
you.
everybody a little bit about what you've been doing here at DCAT.
So at DCAT, I've been mainly coming in and helping out with either projects after school or working in the crew like I am today, or just coming over to edit videos that I have for home or other personal projects for school even.
Did you recently win an award?
I
Why
did.
don't you tell everybody
I
about
did.
that award you won?
So I did a announcer. I walked in and I just walked on stage and just was announcing for a gaming tournament we had here at DCAT, which was very fun.
So you got a special award at DCAT at our annual meeting, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Which was wonderful.
Yes.
So
yes.
do you think now that you've been at DCAT, you've been in front of the camera, behind the camera, do you think you see your name up in lights someday in the future?
I don't know. Maybe though. Maybe. For sure.
Absolutely. So what are you working on now?
So right now I am working backstage for the camera crew. So I'm just switching between cameras and making sure they're all set.
Wonderful. And what are you working on for a big project here at DCAT?
Probably.
You're always doing something.
Yes, I am. I've been mainly over using the editing software that
Okay.
DCAT has.
Great.
Which is, yeah.
So if anybody was interested, there are classes
Yes.
that you can take once you become a member here at DCAT. So would you say fun?
Extremely.
Extremely fun and a great way to be creative and do something different. If you're looking for something like that, we're more than happy to help you out with that here at DCAT. So, I think we're gonna have to let you get back.
All right.
John, it's all yours, sunshine.
All right.
Hold on.
Oh.
Not ready yet. Just put one back.
That's okay.
all right.
So it is live TV, and as they say, anything can happen on live TV.
Very
so
true.
why don't you tell us what your favorite game is right now that you're playing?
Oh, I don't know.
Which
Honestly.
one? Weren't you talking about houses or cities or something? You can tell I don't. I watch Hallmark movies, so anything else is beside me. So tell us what your favorite game is right now.
I couldn't tell you,
Really?
to be honest.
Mario Kart, any of that stuff?
No, I don't know.
No. Okay. We'll let Justin think about that. John, do you?
Hey. There we
There
go.
you go. Thank you, Gayla. Thanks for throwing that back to me.
the third time is a charm,
Exactly.
so-
Works out wonderful. So I'm joined now with Claire Wilson from the Northeast Animal Shelter, one of my favorite organizations. I love, even right now, I'm not adopting a dog yet, but I go through that website all the time looking at those little puppies
Yeah.
and those dogs. Tell us all about the organization.
Well, I'm wondering who you have at home now. If have you adopted from us in the past?
I have not. I had a Jack Russell Terrier for 18 years.
Oh, yeah.
He passed probably 4 years ago. The kids are all out of the house and everything, so we're enjoying our freedom right now, so we don't want to bring another pet in at this point in time.
That's
But
a
at
high
some-
energy.
Yeah, at some
Yeah.
point in my life, I will be back to a dog.
Boy, 18 years, that's a lot of TLC.
Yes.
So
Yeah, he was a great dog.
I've been volunteering at the Northeast Animal Shelter for the past 6 months, but in the last 20 years since I came back to Massachusetts, I think I've adopted 8 dogs and cats from the shelter. I like to pick the ones that are adult, 3, 4, 5 years old, because, you're not putting up with all the puppy and kitty
Sure,
stuff at
right.
that point.
Less destruction.
Yes, less destruction. So, but we do have a lot of puppies and kittens for adoption right now at the shelter.
Are cats more difficult or easier for someone to adopt than a dog?
That's a good question. We have cat people and we have dog people. Sometimes people ask me if we have more difficulty placing the black cats. And, we're located in Salem, which city, so they go like that. So.
Yeah, I would think that a cat requires less of a family. You don't have to take it out for walks twice a day.
Yeah.
It's not barking and making tons of
No.
noise if you're living in an apartment or something. So I would think that a cat would be an easier adoption for a
Yeah.
family, perhaps.
Yeah. In the 43 years that the Northeast Animal Shelter has been in existence, we've adopted out over 135,000 dogs and cats.
Wow.
And we're the largest no-kill shelter in the North Shore. It isn't to say that it doesn't happen occasionally, but it's with a lot of intervention. It's a committee decision with the veterinarian, the board, the behaviorists, the kennel folks. And I'm very impressed with the new innovations that they've done at the shelter just in the last year. Bob Citrillo is our new executive director, and he's a military guy. He's got a lot of experience with animal training and with running shelters down south. He just came to us last year, or this year, and he's really making a lot of positive changes. We have 2 veterinarians now that are on staff, and we have a team of 3 behaviorists. So they evaluate every single dog and cat that comes to the shelter. They create treatment plans to intervene. For example, a few years ago, I had adopted a dog that I discovered was a resource guarder. Beautiful, happy pup, eager to go everywhere, loved people, loved other animals. But if there was any food or a treat in the vicinity, she would attack other dogs. And it was such a shocking surprise to discover that. I don't think the shelter even knew it before I adopted her. But I ended up spending a few $100s to go into the MSPCA to get the kind of counsel that adopters at Northeast Animal Shelter get for free.
Oh, that's excellent.
They interview the adopting families. They give them background on the kind of animal that they're adopting, whether it's suitable for children, whether it's a high energy or high arousal pet.
Sure.
It's really very impressive. And they follow the families and give them support as they need it. We want to make a happy, forever home.
Right, right, and that's what it sounds like. The adoption process is going to be much more successful at this, rather than just, oh, you want a dog here, pay the money and take the dog home, or the cat and bring it back in a month or 2 when it doesn't work out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And speaking of down south, do you get animals from these displaced animals from all these storm ravaged places?
Well, it's kind of a chain reaction. Right now, I believe that we're receiving dogs and cats from Georgia and from Florida, from California, West Virginia. There may be others. But, they have come from a lot of different circumstances. What you mentioned, it's surrenders. There are animals that are, without homes, that are stray. And sometimes we know the background of the animals, sometimes we don't. What we do know is that these are shelters that are have the animals on a kill list simply because the overcrowding, they can't continue to hold it.
Certainly.
The ways that people keep pets south of New England is really quite a bit different.
Yeah.
So there's not as much neutering, there's not as much humane education. In this area, we really are a lot more informed about, animal health and safety for the pet owner.
That's excellent. Well, Claire, thanks for joining us today. Northeast Animal Shelter does wonderful work. If you're looking for a dog or pet or dog or cat, please go on their website, check out all the different animals, go talk to them. Pets bring a wonderful amount of joy to
That's
your
the
family.
truth,
They really,
yeah.
really do.
And come out and adopt and also visit. We have young kids that read to the dogs and cats.
So you can volunteer there as well.
And
is
if
what
you're
saying.
interested in volunteering, especially if you're a cat person, pick a schedule 3 or 4 hours every week. It's not just cleaning cages and feeding. Somebody's got to play with them.
There you go. That's a fun job. All right, Claire, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much.
A pleasure.
All right.
David, over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. I'm here with. Oh wow! Would you look at that? It's,
No skit this time. Last time we introduced something, we did a skit together for the awards, so I'm sorry to disappoint Greg and David fans.
I snuck up on me. I didn't even see him come in. So with me, if you're not familiar with that face, it is Greg Dolan, the executive director of DCAT here. Greg, welcome to Community Connections for starters.
I'm super excited. This is one of my favorite shoots. I'm on the record as being very, very excited every time we get to do a live show. I think live shows are incredible. They're really fun to do. We have a lot of really great volunteers here today. Like, something you may not know is behind the scenes, Claire just did an interview and then quickly walked back over to her post where she's helping keep time. She has a headset on over in the corner. Every time someone walks off, a different person comes on. It looks very neat and organized on the air, which is a full credit to everyone working back in the control room. That would be Ben, Nate, Jennifer, Noah, Justin on camera. Everyone is really doing a great job tonight. Our Kohl's volunteers are helping shuttle people in and out. It's organized chaos with more focus on the organization tonight, which I'm proud of, and not as chaotic as you would think.
No, it's and you touched on it earlier, but in particular the energy of a live program. There's just something different about it. We film a lot of programs here, whether it be live or live to tape, essentially is how we call it, with the intent of it being kind of filming it as if it is live. But there's just something here about the energy, like I said.
Yeah, it's
if
awesome.
we screw up and if I forget what your name is, if I call you Anthony instead of Greg, that's how it happens on TV.
I'll storm off set. You'll be on your own.
So, Greg, we're here for DCAT.
Yep.
Is there anything coming up in particular that you feel like the people at home should want to get involved in?
There's a lot of really cool stuff coming up in 2 weeks, I believe. November 23rd. It would be 2 weeks if I knew what today's date was, but it's a little less than 2 weeks.
Today's the 14th, so about a week and a half.
A week and a half, thank you. We're doing an open house. It's on Saturday from 10 to 12 in the morning. It's a good chance to come in if you've been in here before and maybe learn a little bit about what happens behind the scenes to make a show and get yourself involved. Or if you had been here before and you used to do a show and you're interested in coming back, it's just a good opportunity to see what we have going on that's new technology, meet some people. It's a good networking event, and there's also going to be food from Breakaway, which
free
I'm a
food
big
doesn't
free food
hurt.
fan,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And the one thing you touched on was just people meeting each other, because I think that's a big part of the community access television game is just getting to know each other, getting to help each other, because for the most part, there's a lot of volunteers here. I mean, I know we have 4 full-time staff, but a lot of the people you see filming programs, a lot of the people you see running the cameras, running the soundboard, stuff like that. They're people who they either have a passion or they just have an itch to want to get involved, to want to help people. And that's a big part of what this event's going to be about, is just meeting new people, just seeing what sort of programs are out there, starting a new program potentially, who knows?
That would be great. And one thing I'll say is, just talking about community, one of the really cool things about community TV, particularly Danvers community TV, is how many different people and organizations we get in here. So last year, we actually worked with over 100 nonprofit organizations, which is kind of an incredible number in a few ways. First, that there's over 100 nonprofit organizations in Danvers is a testament just to the culture of volunteerism and giving back to your community. And it's incredible that we get to be a hub for that. These people come in, we get to know a little bit about their mission, help them out, promote their event, promote what they have going on. And for me, it's really rewarding. I come into work and I'm like, I get to work with really great, awesome, people who are involved and have passions, and we get to help them dig more into that.
Yeah, and it's the word passion there at the end. Passion can really be anything for the most part.
Yeah.
Or like one thing when I talk to new members is I always just try to throw it out there of there's no sort of limit in terms of what can be produced as a television show. I guess there are limits, we don't want to break laws or anything like
There
that.
are limits, but yeah, they're hard to find.
Like I'm passionate about basketball, for example. So if you want to do a show about basketball, come talk to me.
Yeah, David would be very excited.
You have no idea how much NBA basketball I watch and how much basketball I play. It's all over the board. So really anything's on the table as an option. So if you're passionate about, I'm trying to think, if you're cooking, for example, if you're passionate about playing a board game, if you're passionate about doing crochet, like it's all a possibility. And
it's cool for me because I get to learn about these things. Like, I don't know anything about crochet, but if you want to come in and do a crochet show, I will work with you. You'll get to know TV, and I'll get to know crocheting. It's a nice win-win deal for everyone. And the other piece, too, is if you work for an organization, it's a great networking opportunity. So if you have a show, it's a good chance to bring people in and have a one-on-one or two-on-one conversation and really get more in-depth about something you're passionate about. So I know we have someone up next, D, who does a show, Pharmacy Talk, and he's had some really great guests in, and he can speak more about what that process is like as far as getting to talk to these people. But I think it's cool that he gets to come in and bring these really awesome people in and have very interesting conversations. And there's a lot of shows like that. Everyone who does one gets to get guests in and learn a little bit more. I am getting the wrap-up signal, I think.
You are, yeah.
I
so
can talk all night.
That's that breaking that fourth wall of the behind the scenes right there. So Greg's getting one of these signals, which means you got to just
Rules
stop
are made to
talking
be broken.
and
I'll
keep
break
moving
that
on.
fourth wall.
So Greg, thank you for stopping by on Community Connections on Set B over here. Just letting the people know at home a little bit about what's going on at DCAT, what's coming up in the future. And if you are interested, please just give us a call. Email us at dcat@danverstv.org. Somebody will be sure to reply to you. And if it can be really anything. If you're interested in helping out with the program, starting a new show, if you just want to borrow a camera and film some local events in town, that's an option as well.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say, I know I'm over time, is that it might be intimidating to come in and be like, oh, like it's a lot of work to make a TV show. You'll be surprised at the spectrum that there is. You can keep things really simple and cover events or do a simple show, or you can get really in depth and learn a lot about production and develop maybe a new passion. So if you're interested at all, I strongly encourage you to come in, check out what we have to offer, and I think you'll be very pleased.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Greg, for stopping by. I think we're going to send it over to John Call. John, do you have some friendly guests over there?
I do. Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for that great information. I'm joined here by Donna Hopkins and Dutriche Joko, if I'm saying that correctly. And he's affectionately known as D because that first name's a little hard to pronounce. But welcome. They're from the Danvers Human Rights and Inclusion Committee. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
So can you tell the viewers at home a little bit more about what the Danvers Human Rights and Inclusion Committee is all about?
Well, the Danvers Committee for Human Rights and Inclusion was created in 1997 as a result of some anti-Semitic graffitis that were found on one of the Danvers public schools. And at the time, we called it the Danvers Committee for Diversity. Recently, we did change the name to Danvers Committee for Human Rights and Inclusion because we felt that that name reflects more some of the work that we do. Some people always ask, does Danvers need one, right? And Donna, you can elaborate on that a little bit.
Unfortunately, we still do. There are still incidents of anti-Semitism. There are still racist episodes or incidents that occur within the town. Fortunately, not a lot, but too many for our comfort level.
Right.
And part of that also is letting people know that we are here, we do exist. The Board of Selectmen actually appoints us. So anybody in town that feels like they're having a problem, a situation, their child in school is having an issue or they're having a problem at work, they can come to us. They're welcome to attend our meetings, they're public meetings. It's a great group of people, a lot of strong personalities.
Yes, I know some of them, and you're right. It's a great group of people,
so things are still happening that we're not happy with. We think we can be better. We think we will be better. And we just want to provide, we just want people to know that we exist and that we're here for them.
So, I'm saddened to hear that there's a need for this committee, really. I like to think of Danvers as a wonderful, wonderful community that I know and love. I've lived here for 45 years. But, I'm sad to know that things like that are still happening. But you had mentioned that if your child's being bothered at school, so how do people get in touch with you? What's the process like for you getting involved or them getting involved and getting help on whatever issue they might have?
Well, I would say, obviously, if there's an issue in school, that should go to the school administrators. You know, that's the proper channel. So that was just an example to say that we do work very closely with schools, the police department, and we have a lot of partners within the town.
And we have representatives from the school and the police that come to our meetings
Ex-
as well. They're part of our
Exactly.
committee.
Exactly. So they don't necessarily have to come directly to us. They can go to the school channel, and eventually they could seek our guidance or ideas as to how to resolve certain situations. And like Donna said, we are really fortunate that those are, for the most part, isolated incidents. But we want to be proactive and make sure that everyone in town feel welcome, and that the inherent right of every Denver citizen is protected.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. So what kind of stuff is going on right now? I know Martin Luther King Day will be coming up shortly, faster than
that's right.
you can imagine.
We
but
do have before the Martin Luther King.
You have something
we
before
actually
that.
have
Wow.
our menorah lighting ceremony. We just confirmed it with the Shabab of the North Shore today, I believe.
Chabad.
Habab. Okay, thank you. It's going to be on December 23rd at 6 p.m.
And where will that be held?
That will be either in front of Town Hall or at the Library Pavilion.
Gotcha.
So that's where we're going to be lighting the menorah. All are welcome. It's a great event.
There's food, there's drinks. Come and have a good time. There's singing, talking. It's fun.
Yeah,
Short
absolutely.
and fun.
Yeah.
And then after that, we will be having our annual MLK, which is our biggest event of the year. This year is going to be on January 20th, 2020 at Danvers High School. It's at 4 o'clock. It usually runs from 4 to 6. It's open to the public. It's free. All are welcome. It's a great way to celebrate the unfinished work of Dr. Martin Luther King. Yeah. And as I said during our last year event, we are looking forward to a day where we're going to move his report card from in progress to complete. We've gone a long way, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So this is a great way to bring the community together, and we have some great artwork from the students.
It's wonderful artwork.
Yeah, I love looking. Last year I went and walked all around there. All the artwork is wonderfully
Amazing,
displayed,
amazing
and it
talent.
really is, yeah.
And to listen to the kids sing. We have a lot of people from the community come and sing, and
that is why
just to mingle.
we have a group from the Danvers High School. We have another group from St. John's Prep. And for everyone at home watching, this year we have a treat. We're going to be having Male Voice, which is an a cappella group from Brandeis University.
Great.
So it's going to be their first year performing at the event. I'm really looking forward to it. I've watched them perform before. They go all over the state, and we'll be privileged and honored to have them with us on January 20th, 2020 at 4 o'clock at Danvers High School.
That's excellent.
no cost, lots of food. Just wanted to add that in real quick.
You can never go wrong with free food, right?
Right.
So how can people get involved?
Well, you can get involved in many ways. The first is attend our meetings, the public meetings. We meet the third Thursday of every month. Right now we're meeting at the police training room. It's at 7 p.m., the third Thursday of every month. You can get involved by supporting the Friends of the Danvers Community for Diversity. It's a 501c, and they do help us with some of our event and scholarships that we give to students. And you can also check our website. It's right on the town website. So if you go there, you look for the Danvers Committee for Human Rights and Inclusion. There's a lot of ways to get involved. And please come to our events, because it's supposed to be a community event. We have a lot of community partnership, schools, police station, Denver Interfaith Partnership. So there's a lot of ways to get involved.
That's excellent. Excellent. Thanks so much for all that you do. Thanks for keeping Danvers the town that we love.
Thank you
and
very
trying to
much.
make it a better
Thank
place.
you. See you on the 20th of
January
January.
20th. I'll see you at the
4
menorah
p.m.
lighting too.
That's right.
But before you take off, we're going to roll a video, I believe. Is the video queued up?
Congratulations, Dee, on the 2019 Community Support and Activism Award. The conversations that you're sparking through your show Pharmacy Talks with Dee are so important around opioid use and keeping our community healthy. I'm so happy that you've been able to use DCAT as a platform to get that message out. Again, congratulations on your award.
So she broke the surprise for me, but on behalf of the board of directors and the staff here at DCAT, we are just thrilled with the amount that you do for the town of Danvers. Not just on the committee we just talked about, but I know through Danvers Cares, I know you do spend a lot of time talking to youths about opioids and drugs and violence, it's just, we're thrilled. So this is the first ever Dana Healy Community Award, and we are thrilled that it is going to UD. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm usually not speechless, but I am tonight. I want to thank you very much, and thank you to DCAT for giving me the platform and the opportunity to do what I love to do. And thank you for everyone who helped me achieve this, especially my wife, my parents, and my kids. Without them, I won't be able to do what I do. I want to thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks. Thanks for being a part of Danvers, really, in our hearts and in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dee. Okay, David, over to you.
Congratulations to Dee. I know we've had a lot chance to work together in the past, so it's absolutely a well-deserved award. So now we are going to touch base here with another friend of DCAT, Gayla Bartlett. Gayla, welcome to Community Connections.
Thank you, David. Very exciting night. So excited for Dee. Woohoo! Yay, Dee.
So Gayla is here representing the Kiwanis today. Gayla, for those who aren't familiar with Kiwanis, I don't know if you're just able to just touch
Absolutely.
on the mission of Kiwanis.
Sure. So Danvers Kiwanis is an international organization. We do have one right here in Danvers, and our mission is serving the children in our community one child at a time. There are so many children that are in need in our communities, so we are here to help them. We're here to help everyone in our community through the community service that we do as Danvers Kiwanians. So today is, as you know, that wonderful Acts of Kindness Day. So
Correct,
a great
yes.
way for you to show your act of kindness. If you're thinking of joining a service organization, what a great act of kindness for you to perform. So not only is there our wonderful Kiwanis Club, there's Lions, there's Rotary. So there are other organizations that are out there committed to service work as well. But we would always love to have people come and visit and learn about Kiwanis.
Yeah, today's a perfect day to really get that foot in the door. As you mentioned,
Absolutely.
we have so many organizations here on Community Connections just speaking on what they offer the community. Because, you know, when you're watching at home, just think to yourself, you know, what does interest you? There's probably going to be an organization out there that does support that mission. And Danvers Kiwanis, I know you touched on just the service projects that they are able to contribute to the community. Are you able to touch on some of them that are coming up?
Of course I am, David.
Perfect.
That was cute. Yeah. Okay. So just recently, we wrapped 247 presents for Operation Troop Support. So those are care packages that are going to go overseas to our soldiers. That is something that Kiwanis is passionate about. Dick Moody is one of our Kiwanis members, as well as a DCAT board member. So we love him and support his organization. We recently helped Hawk. We made no-sew blankets for the children that were in the emergency shelter. We also gave them Kiwanis teddy bears, Kiwanis backpacks, and books that related to their trauma that they were going through. So those were kids that were in need that weren't being served. So as Kiwanians, we found that opportunity to jump in there and help them. So we have several community partners that we work with. Kiwanis did a build with Habitat for Humanity. Mr. Don Preston's in the house, so I have to give him a shout out as always. So Kiwanis did that as well. We have our pancake breakfast, which everybody knows us for. John Call, who is emceeing tonight as well, past president of Kiwanis extraordinaire and a wonderful supporter of the Kiwanis Club, so we love John. So we do our pancake breakfast, we do the duck race, and who doesn't love to see 1,000 ducks go into Pope's Landing?
It's pretty exciting.
Isn't it amazing?
It's pretty exciting.
Everybody goes quackers. Ha!
Oh, wow, there you go.
I got your jokes.
I was not ready for that joke, but yeah, you know, people at home make me laughing too much, Gayla. They got to focus on what's
tell ya.
important here.
Okay.
So in terms of the actual meetings at Kiwanis, how often does Kiwanis meet?
So our club used to meet 4 times a month, every Tuesday for lunch. It became a little too much for people. Everybody has busy schedules, so we wanted to control that for people. So we meet the second and fourth Tuesday at 12 o'clock at Danvers Port Yacht Club. So that's great if you can get out for lunch. But if you're like me and you work in a different city but you live in Danvers, night meetings are perfect as well. We meet the first Wednesday of the month at Calitri's, and we do a hands-on service project. So that's where we wrap the presents, we do the blankets, we do all kinds of wonderful things like that. So if you want a hands-on service project, you can come to one of the night meetings as well.
And it sounds like it's very, just very active and engaging
Fun.
when you are there. So that's-
And David, are you ready?
I am.
December
I wasn't, but I
1st.
am now.
Are you
Go right ahead.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited. It's one of my favorite things. We have a lot of fellowship opportunities as well. December 1st, we are going Christmas caroling.
How about that?
Fa la la on the trolley. John, I miss you caroling. When I joined Kiwanis, one of my fondest memories was John, and he'd be there singing away, and he's got a wonderful voice. So, no, it's great key. So, so we're going Christmas caroling December 1st on the trolley. We stop at some nursing homes, and we stop and sing to nuns, which is always fascinating and fun.
Wow.
Hmm.
Sounds like a lot of fun, I'll say.
And they do sing back. It's great.
Perfect. So I'm sure there's somebody at home right now who's watching and listening and thinking to themselves, that sounds like a lot of, that just sounds like an
Too much
engagement.
fun.
Yeah, it sounds like too much fun maybe.
Yep.
So how does that person get involved though if they're sitting down?
Absolutely. Ashley Meager is our current president. She is amazing. Ashley actually has an office downtown Danvers, Edward Jones. So you can knock on the door and say hello to Miss Ashley if you like. DanversKiwanis.org is our website. You can check us out. We have a Facebook page too, so you can learn more about us and learn about our service projects. We'd be more than happy to help you out with.
Perfect. There you go.
Absolutely.
So tons of avenues to reach out if you are interested. I know Gayla is always a willing voice to speak to it as well. As you can hear, she's a strong advocate for many organizations within the community, and Kiwanis is just one of her many hats. So
It's a
thank you.
beautiful hat.
So thank you for stopping by, Gayla.
Thank you,
we
David.
appreciate it. And I think we're going to send it to John. I think he said he's going to sing a carol next.
Is
Is
he?
that?
I
is
want
that-
him in
is
his
that
top
the-
hat. He
Is
has
that
a
correct?
top hat.
La 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 la. No, I really couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. So she's just being kind. She just enjoyed having me around to make fun of, I guess, when on the trolley. But I'm joined here by Dawn Preston from Habitat for Humanity. Hey, Dawn, thanks for joining us today.
How are you doing?
Excellent, thank you. Tell the viewers at home all about Habitat for Humanity.
Well, Habitat Humanity North Shore is one of 17 affiliates in Massachusetts, one of over 1,400 in the United States. And Habitat is also operating in 70 different countries. And the goal is to address the need for affordable housing in our communities. We also work on a worldwide level. So our affiliate has sponsored 40 homes in Zambia, for instance. On a local level, we have constructed 40 homes here on the North Shore.
No kidding.
Just finishing two in one unit in Danvers, and we're starting up a two-family house in Wenham right now. So the goal is to serve people in the 40 to 60% income range, area median income, and create a housing opportunity that you wouldn't otherwise have. Home ownership. It's focused on families. The average house price is going to be about $150,000. Your monthly payment should come in around $1,000, and that's built with volunteer labor. So we use an awful lot of the community. Kiwanis, as you heard, was a member of that community. Essex Technical High School worked with us on the last builds. So.
It's a great organization doing great work, and I'm pleased to hear that there's been 40 families really helped here on the North Shore, which is wonderful. So I imagine people can get involved by volunteering as well as donating money. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, money is always necessary to do everything we do. So you can volunteer on site in construction, and have no fear. There is a job for everyone. You can make lunches for us. You can sweep up, or you can come and learn a skill. So we have an awful lot of young couples that join us to do just that, learn how to work with tools, how to learn how to maintain their own home and do things and be comfortable prior to buying. So we have that. We have a lot of college groups, corporate groups volunteer to work. And we also have our Restore on Pulaski Street, 58 Ria Pulaski in Peabody. And that's open Tuesday through Saturday and 10 to 5, and there's volunteer opportunities there all the time.
And what does that store do?
Well, it's recycling and reusing furniture, construction materials. Maybe you were tiling a bathroom and you've got like 4 or 5 boxes of tile left over. We do need at least 50 square feet. But furniture, when you're downsizing or somebody's moving out of the area, instead of going in a dumpster, you give us a call. We look it over, take it, and then we resell it. And the money we make from that goes into our home construction.
Excellent. Excellent. And that's on Pulaski Street in
Yes.
Peabody.
Yep, 58 rear, we're the white building at the very back, and we have Christmas set up right now. We also, you can go on our website, habitatforhumanity.com, habitatforhumanitynorthshore.com.
There you go.
Sorry, and you can go there and go to Shop Restore, and you can see most of our items right up online. We have
no
it
kidding.
posted. Yep.
Well, that's excellent. That makes it so much easier than going to a white barn sale, so to speak,
Yep.
you know, and having to poke around through everything. You
Yep.
can go there with a purpose.
Yep.
So do you have an annual appeal coming up?
We have two things coming up. Tomorrow night at Danvers Sport, we have our annual auction event night, and tickets are still available. So if anybody wants to come, just show up at 6 o'clock, buy a ticket, and join us. It'll be a night, a lot of opportunity to get an awful lot of items on our silent auction, and there'll be a live auction, and there'll be food. So quite a nice night. So that's a major fundraiser for us. And then we have our annual appeal, which will be going out in the next couple of weeks. And that is also a major source of funding and a way for you locally to give to Habitat North Shore. So look for our appeal letter coming from North Shore Habitat. There's also an appeal that comes in from national, but that money goes to the national level.
Right, let's keep it local.
Keep it local.
Excellent.
And so those are important key parts of keeping our operation going.
Yep.
Because each one of these houses costs real dollars.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Dawn, I wish you all the best of luck both tomorrow night and at your annual appeal. Hopefully
Yes.
you get everything you need and continue the good work that you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Have a wonderful holiday.
You too. Bye.
David?
Good evening. My name is Dick Moody. I am the founder and director of Operation Troop Support, nonprofit organization, and our mission is to send care packages to the soldiers in the combat zone and in the hospitals. We started this organization in March of 2003, and in the last 16 years, we have been able to send about 997,000 care packages over to the war front. And this is in Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait, Qatar, the UAE, Djibouti, and lately to Poland as well. The needs of the soldiers are pretty consistent all the way back to 2003. They need socks. That is probably the driving thing, because there's no Walmarts over there, and they're walking all the time. They like non-perishable food items, such as nuts, cookies. You go into the store and buy a six-pack of applesauce or macaroni and cheese, things like that. Packaged soups, anything that you could just add water to. As far as toiletries, they need the shampoos, they need the toothpaste, they need the Kleenex, Q-tips, things such as that. And then we have the other type of items like playing cards, puzzle books, and those are the kinds of things that we get the feedback. In 2005, I was in Iraq. I witnessed at a combat support hospital the packages as they came in, and I could tell you that they were very much appreciated. And I came home basically saying, we have to keep doing this because it means so much to them. That's one of my two hats. The other hat in town that I wear is the president of the Danvers Veterans Council. And this is an organization that all veterans can belong to. We meet the last Wednesday of the month, and we take on certain projects that would help to instill patriotism in the community. The latest thing that we just did was, you may not have noticed, but in September of last year, there was no flag at Danvers High School, football field. So we went ahead and through the help of the Rotary, who funded this, we now have a flag flying over all the football games, and it's lit 24 hours a day. So that's a good project and it instills patriotism. We have one Medal of Honor recipient buried in the town of Danvers, but he has a grave that needs to be improved. Again, the Veterans Council is coming forward to take care of that. If you are interested in any kind of project that would do that kind of thing for the community, please see me. Call me 978-836-2395 or dick.moody@gmail.com. We can certainly use your help. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
Always a great man, Dick. Everything he does for the community is just really, really wonderful. And he's on our board as well, so we're thrilled to have him here. I'm joined now by Fabiana Marie and David Pennant from the Fab Family Fund. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
So with a name like that, there's got to be some big, passionate reason for starting this nonprofit, right?
There definitely is. So I myself am a 14-year breast cancer fighter. I was diagnosed at the age of 27, so our family kind of got thrown into a whirlwind of finances and trouble with finances and, just navigating through breast cancer. So this has been kind of a baby of ours that we've really wanted to come to fruition. So what we did essentially is we partnered with a lot of organizations and have raised over $750,000 for different organizations. So we kind of wanted to look at what organizations were doing, how they were doing it, and really find out what was missing and where we could be of help when starting our own nonprofit.
So how did you come up with this unique idea?
So early on in her diagnosis, we went from a two-income household to a single-income household very quickly. Within a couple of weeks, she was into surgeries. She had to stop working. So obviously the necessities were the bills, the mortgage, the car payments, just all those smaller bills also. So we were left with not much money in our bank account, and we were struggling to make bills, and so what we decided is that things like family vacations were put on hold. So that was something that was a luxury that we could afford to not do. But earlier on in the battle, we decided that we wanted our daughter and us as well to live as normal of a life as we can. We knew that this diagnosis for her was going to be long term, that it wasn't going to be a one and done thing. So we decided that for all the breast cancer fighters that are fighting now or have just been recently through treatment, that we wanted to be able to send them on vacation. For us, it would have made a big deal. So we're going to be sending them on all expense paid vacations. And we wanted to take it one step further. And, because some families, even in this day and age that don't have paid vacations, from work or whatever, we wanted to cover all, their lost income, and cover all their travel expenses plus spending money and everything like that.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's truly wonderful. So do you work with other organizations in town to make that happen, or other organizations nationally?
So we are going to be partnering with other organizations because other organizations do amazing and just wonderful things. So we want to be able to offer those organizations to the people that are fighting. Obviously, one of the organizations that I work really closely with is called the Tiger Lily Foundation, and they're for women under the age of 40 going through metastatic breast cancer, like myself. So right now, I'm what's considered an angel advocate for them. So for our organization, we want to be able to give one of their fighters. So we are going to be partnering with different organizations. So we're going to be offering those to other organizations because the breast cancer community is a close-knit community, and there's like I said, so many organizations that are doing amazing and wonderful things. So we want to be able to kind of go to different organizations and be able to offer this to them.
That's wonderful. How do people find out about your organization? How do you pick people that you're going to be helping? Kind of what's the process involved there?
So the process is, honestly, we're just really getting up and going and started. We've really stacked our board with amazing people that are going to help navigate our way through finding the destination spots, choosing people. So it's ultimately going to be, they're going to go to the fabfamilyfund.org and they will fill out a form. So you can nominate somebody, and ultimately we're going to end up choosing a family. We're hoping to be able to choose many families, but right now we'll start with one.
Great, great. So when do you anticipate sending that first family?
So the first of the year is really when we want to launch this. So we're really hoping that this is going to get off the ground really quickly. So we have lots of things in the works that I don't have specific dates yet, but they're coming.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I wish you all the best of luck with this truly, truly worthwhile endeavor, and good luck in your organization of it, building your nonprofit. Good luck raising the money, and good luck with the women and the families that you're helping.
Thank you. We appreciate
powerful,
it.
powerful stuff.
Thanks
Thanks again for coming in tonight.
Thanks.
David?
John, I am over here with Lou Hathaway. Lou from the Triad Council. Lou, welcome to Community Connections. I know this is this is an event you've taken part in the past.
Yes.
So for those who are curious about the Triad Council, I was wondering if you could just give a little bit of background as to what it is.
Sure. Well, I am the co-chair of the Danvers Triad Council, along with Wendy Pearl. And we're an organization of seniors that are working together to keep seniors safe from scams and to promote safety awareness for seniors in the Danvers community. And we have the help from, besides the seniors, we have the help from the Danvers Housing Authority Director, the Director of the Senior Center, the Sheriff's Department, the Fire Department, the Police Department, and other social service agencies like the North Shore Elder Services.
That's perfect. It sounds like there's a lot of organizations who are involved in just helping the senior community. I was wondering if you could just touch on some of the events. I know you were excited. You had a lot coming up and potentially in the area. So what's going on with the Triad Council?
We have one of the events that we really like to do is to help other seniors be aware of our programs. So we have a program called Triad on the Road, where we go around to the various Danvers Housing Authority units, and as well as other apartments like the Fairweather Apartments on Porter Street, to reach out to seniors and tell them about our programs. We are also very active in the YMCA Active Older Adults Day in June, and you'll see us there at the Family Festival, the Oldies Night. We're down in the square. We're very happy to be, center of attention down there and reach as many people as we can. We also have through DCAT, we have a program called the Triad Corner, which I am the host of, and very happy. I've done about 7 programs so far, and we reach out with different programs. The last one we did was with the Fire Prevention Officer, Captain Jim Brooks, talking about falls and fire prevention. And coming up in January, I will be hosting with my guest, Michelle Alex, who's the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Registry of Motor Vehicles. And we're going to be talking about safety driving tips for seniors. We have, a lot of our programs, David, relate around where we started with the file of life and the small file of life, the large file of life, with trying to keep seniors safe if they were involved in a situation where they were unresponsive and the first responders came and what would how would it make it easier for them to help them out? So we have the small file of life and the large file of life. The small file of life is like a small red packet that person carries on their person, and in there they have the health and contact information. The large file of life goes on the refrigerator. It's magnetized, so if someone was called the fire department or police and they left their door open, somebody would come in the house, take a look on the refrigerator, and get all that helpful information. One of the the latest things that we have is where a cell phone, maybe a smartphone, it may be locked up. We have these pockets that you have on the back of the cell phone are very popular. In there, we have the small file of life, which has all that information. We also have, for those people that still have the flip phone, we have a yellow dot which goes on there, which indicates that on the cell phone somebody has set up the contact information for the person. One of the things that we have still is the grab-and-go bags that were as a result of the Danvers Sport Explosion in 2006. We got 300 more of those bags, and we're happy to give them out at our various locations. Somebody can come to the senior center and ask for one.
That's wonderful. That's a lot of just important information, a lot of important support for the senior community. I know the file of life that you touched on. I know you've had those on the program as well.
Yes.
And just the program as a whole. Like even I remember the previous one with Captain Jim Brooks. There's a lot of information out there that I know you do a great job, Lou, just getting it out there to the community. Because there's things that may you don't necessarily think of, for example,
Right.
like the file of life. You might not think to yourself this is important, but in the moment it can be very important.
Exactly.
So I do appreciate that, and I thank you for bringing that to the community.
I almost forgot. One of the things that we're very happy working with DCAT about is that all life in their homes by making sure that the number is up on their house so first responders will be able to find their house easily.
That's perfect, and those can be accessed from any computer. So it's not that's something to keep note of at home if you're interested. They can be accessed from anywhere on the website. So Lou, for those people who are interested, I don't know if you could just touch on the meetings, when they are, where they are.
Right. We meet 4 times a year.
Okay.
Okay, and that's in September, December, March, and June. And we've set it up so that it's the second Monday of the month at 11 o'clock in the conference room of the Danvers Senior Center. And people are always welcome to join us to find out more about the Danvers Triad Council.
Perfect. And if they are interested in, maybe the meeting doesn't necessarily work for them, who can they contact?
They can contact the Danvers Senior Center at 978-762-0208 and leave a message there that they would like some contact from the Danvers Triad Council, and we'll be glad to get back to them as soon as possible.
Awesome. Well, Lou, thank you. I don't know if you have any last-minute sort of pitches to the audience at home, or if we can.
All I can say is stay tuned for more information about the Triad Council, and we're glad to help out any way we can to keep the seniors safe in our community.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Lou, for all you do for the senior community. I know it's definitely helpful. I've heard a lot of people touch on it. I know you've had programs here that are getting seen by the eyeballs, which is what matters most.
Right.
So, Lou, thank you so much for stopping by today, and look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right. So it looks like we're going to send it over. Oh, they're already on.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Thanks, guys. So, Greg, it is my favorite time of the year here in Danvers.
And why is that, Galen?
Because it is almost time for the big man himself to come and the magical tree to be lit.
Christmas. You're talking Christmas before Thanksgiving?
It's okay, I have to.
Okay. It is a late Thanksgiving this year, so I'm going to let it slide.
Thank you.
It's pretty exciting. So I know that we have a nice special event coming up, a magical event, as you would say, coming up. December 7th. So what are we doing?
So usually in the past we've had the DCAT elves, which are totally adorable. They don their elf attire and they come into Maple Street Church for family photos. Well, this year we decided the elves would go back to the North Pole.
Yeah, it's a busy season this year for the elves.
Santa needs them. And that we would just do regular family photos.
Yeah, so we're going to have a nice setup for you. We're going to have a professional camera. You can come in with your family and get a nice family Christmas photo. And it's early enough in the year. You could use it for Christmas cards if you want. Put it up on Facebook, whatever you need. But it's a good opportunity to come in, get a free family photo, professional photo. Not bad.
Because the biggest thing is, how often do you get everybody together? And usually in Danvers, we're a great community that has lots of family events. And if you're going to have everybody together, and if they're going to be getting to see the man in the red suit, or in the Living Nativity at Maple Street, then they're already going to be gussied. So it's a great opportunity to get those pictures.
Yeah, so wear something festive if you want, get dressed for the part, and then you can leave and be like, you know what, I have my photos all set. I can do my Christmas cards. I can be ahead of schedule. People aren't going to be getting my Christmas card on New Year's. Sometimes that's a concern for me. It's a good opportunity, so I'm pretty excited about it.
And so we're always planning ahead here at DCAT. So after December, we roll into your favorite.
Yeah, our next event coming up will be in March, our next big event. There's a lot of other stuff going on, but that'll be our second annual trivia night.
Ooh.
So if you were not able to attend last year, it is a great, great time. Lots of varied trivia questions. Ben and I will start working on this probably next week. So Ben, just so you know, probably next
I
week.
was hoping New Year's Day, Ben, sorry.
So Ben and I really try to focus on writing questions that aren't going to stump you.
Right.
If you don't know them, it'll at least be something you can talk about because it's a team event. So you'll be with 3 other people, and you can sit and you can talk and say, was it this or was it this? And it's just a good social night. And I really like doing it. It's my favorite event.
And it's a good team building event too. So if you have a whole bunch of people at work, you want to get together, you want to have fun. Hoping to get our friends from Kohl's back again this year. They were wonderful last year. They were our tally masters.
Yeah, it's a challenging job because someone has to collect all the answer sheets, tally all the scores, and figure out who's on top. So it's going to be great.
I did it. I was stressed just looking at the sheets.
And I will say last year was very, very close. There's 75 questions, which sounds like a lot, but it does move really fast. It's fun. There's music. It was a 1-question lead at the very end. So someone won by 1 question, which is incredible. It's got to be tough for the team that came in second and had to think about what they almost got.
Yep. So after March, we go into April, May.
Yeah, we got all sorts of stuff going on for the summer, summer camps, those kinds of things. And then I want to talk a little bit about an event we just did because I thought it was it's one of my favorite community events, which is Nightmare on Elm Street. So for that, we get donations for the food pantry. We have this whole place decorated, haunted, scary, spooky, and fun. Not too scary. You can bring young ones, don't worry. It's cute, scary. But it's a good opportunity to get some donations for the food pantry because they do so much for the community. And we like to, as you can probably tell from the show, partner with as many organizations that are doing good work as we can.
Yeah, and we had Kohl's there, and they were helping in the craft area as they do. Their second year with us, which is wonderful. You're going to learn about Kohl's and their wonderful community program called Kohl's Cares in just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's really great. They've been incredibly helpful for us. So one of the things with this show, I might have mentioned this before, is there's a lot going on behind the scenes. It looks like it just cuts from thing to thing to thing, and it all is, kind of happens. But there's people behind the scenes making sure everyone's in the right spot. They know what they're doing. The questions are all set. If the schedule gets a little tricky, they figure it out. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. So thank you everyone who's volunteered tonight.
And they're all eating again. A big shout out to Texas Roadhouse.
Yes, thank you Texas Roadhouse.
And B, who's been wonderful, and John for providing the food for tonight. We appreciate that.
All right, so I think with that we can throw it back into the studio. I believe we are going to John. So John, take it.
Thank you, Greg. I'm joined here now by Lucia from the Danvers Lions Club. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Oh, thank you for having me.
Most welcome. So I'm very familiar with the Lions Club, having been a Kiwanian. We interact with this other service organization all the time. But tell the viewers at home what the Danvers Lions Club is all about.
Well, the Danvers Lions Club is a civic organization, just like the Kiwanians and the Rotarians. And we do interact with you, and I bought tickets to the rubber duck race, and I won.
Yay!
Which I immediately spent on celebrating 80 years with the Lions Club. I mean, I didn't celebrate 80 years, but we are 80 years old. We had a lovely celebration November 3rd at Sapino's Restaurant, and Ronnie Sapino has been a member since 1975, and since that time, it is Ronnie on Thanksgiving Day. We get the list from Paula Cochran at the Senior Center, who is also a Lion, and we deliver on Thanksgiving Day hot turkey meals. And Ronnie has been doing this ever since he joined the club. He buys, cooks, and puts the meals in the containers for us, and all we do is bag them and deliver.
Distribute them. That's excellent.
And deliver. That will be on Thanksgiving Day. That will be our meeting for the month of November.
That's a wonderful event because I'm sure it brings joy to the people that are delivering as well as to the people that are getting the meal.
It's a wonderful day. We meet at Sapino's in the morning, and we get going. We're all done by 1 o'clock, and then we go home and get to eat or whatever we want to do. And we also do this again on Christmas Day at the Senior Center. And we deliver on Christmas Day. That is our meeting for the month of December.
Gotcha.
So we are 80 years old. The Danvers Lions Club was chartered on October 31st, 1939. And we actually have a 60-year member in the club, Gordon Thomason.
Huh.
And Lou Hathaway is a lifesaver. He is the treasurer of the Danvers Lions Club. And him and Marge, his wife, they do a tremendous amount of work. And one of the things we do is the school nurse will notify Lou if there is a child that needs glasses in an exam that for some reason insurance or whatever it's not covered, and he will take care of it.
Isn't that excellent?
And they get their glasses and so forth. And so we are 80 years old. We were inspired in 1925 by Helen Keller, that's the pin I'm wearing, to become the Knights of the Blind. That is why we focus on eyes. And I collect all the old eyeglasses. They get recycled and they get all fixed, and the prescriptions are matched up. And this is done by a gentleman in our district in the Lexington Lions Club, John Lucente. And then they're shipped out where they're needed, like to places like Haiti, things like that. And that's what the main focus is. Most of the Lions clubs, Danvers is one of them. We do the eyeglasses for children. We do the meals. We do scholarships. We try to work out into the community that way. And we meet with Kiwanis a couple of times a year, especially at St. Patrick's Day. The three clubs meet together. And many of them are friends, and you might have a relative in Rotary and you're a Lion. It doesn't matter. We're out there. I always call this the do-gooders with no money.
There you go.
That's why I always say when you see the raffle tickets and everything on sale or the fundraisers, take part, because these civic organizations are just giving it all back to the community. And that's basically what we do.
Yeah, it's a wonderful organization. All the civic organizations and service organizations are. I personally have given glasses. There's a collection box over at the Shaw's supermarket over at the North Shore. And so if you have extra glasses at home that you've been sitting in a drawer for years, just take them over, drop them off. Let somebody else reuse them and improve their life. It's amazing, especially as you say, in these third world countries where they will never get glasses unless an organization like yours provides them. And it's so important for people to be able to see as opposed to going through life on whatever their visual impairment might be. So good work.
It is amazing. In Danvers, I have a collection box at the town hall. Pirelli's will take them also, and the senior center.
Excellent.
If you drop them off at Shaw's and Peabody, the Peabody Lions Club will pick them up there, but they all go to the same place.
Right. Excellent.
And they all get recycled that way. And so that's basically what we do. The other big thing we do in the state of Massachusetts, there's 5 districts. Danvers Lions Club is District 33N. The other thing that we do is what we call Mass Lions Eye Research. And we distribute money at the end of the year, for instance, like to Children's Hospital. In the state of Massachusetts, Lions gave them $175,000 to their ophthalmology department. So we do things like that. Eye research is what comes about where we have the 2-minute cataract operation because of eye research or contact lenses versus great big thick glasses. And that's what the Lions Eye Research is all about. It was started in 1958 when they discovered that they had baby blindness, and it was the premature or the newborns were getting too much oxygen, and that was causing the blindness. And so that was discovered, the eye research, and so from then on it just mushroomed, and that's what happens.
Excellent work. Well, Lucia, thanks so much for coming in and telling the town of Danvers what the Lions Club does. If you want to get involved in the organization, they'd love to have you as a member. And you meet once a month, right?
We meet once a month.
Except for November and December.
November and December, So the next one would be probably the 4th Wednesday in January at Cepino's. We changed the time to 5:30 because most of us, we found the nighttime was getting too much. So we meet at 5:30 at Cepino's on the 4th Wednesday in the month. And coming up for the district, Monday night, just to let you know what we do is when we get bigger and bigger with all the clubs, Monday night we will be going to the district advisory meeting, and that's our Toys for Tots night. And the Marines will be there, and every Lion in the district sends toys. I mean, bicycles even. And 2 or 3 Marines come with a truck, and They take it off to Toys for Tots.
Excellent. Well, good luck with all of your programs,
Thank you.
especially coming up in just a couple of weeks with all
Yeah.
those hot turkeys and hot dinners that
Yeah,
you'll be
come
taking
down
around, so-
Thanksgiving morning subpoenas. I mean, even if you don't, deliver or you
can
you
still
can help
assemble.
back,
Yeah.
you can still assemble, and you just have fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Lucia.
Thank you.
David, over to you.
John, I'm here with Camille and Ann Marillis from Kohl's. Thank you guys for joining us, as well as thank you for helping us out tonight. I was wondering if you could just start off by just introducing yourself to the people at home, but also giving them some information on the Kohl's volunteer program itself. What is it?
The Kohl's.
Oh, you might want to grab them.
Okay.
There you go.
The volunteer program consists of all of the associates that donate their own personal time to any of the events that are either generated by ourselves. So we get a lot of people that call us for the program, or events that are generated through the company. There are some big organizations that some of our executives are very strong supporters of, one being the Boys and Girls Club. So that is a nationwide event that we, do a couple times a year, maybe 2-3 times a year we do that. And a lot of community events. Most of our events are definitely small communities, any kind of nonprofit organizations.
Perfect. Yeah, community is the key word. I mean, that's the name
Yes.
of our program tonight.
Yep.
Community Connections. Just the surrounding community of Danvers is just there's a lot going on. There's a lot of support. So thank you for all that you do. I know you touched on a little bit there, but what sort of organizations are eligible for the Kohl's volunteer program? You touched on nonprofits.
Yeah, so it's a nonprofit public charity that is a 501(c)(3).
Okay.
There are organizations that not necessarily are a 501(c)(3). Like there are some schools that don't that have an arm into the 501(c)(3) that we can also donate to. So what happens with the whole process of it is that the associates will go. We will have 5 associates go to an event, and we will donate 3 hours of our time. And Kohl's will then, in turn, give them a volunteer reward of $500.
Wow.
So every event that meets that criteria will get that reward.
That's
from
wonderful.
Kohl's.
Yeah. And so these volunteers themselves who are they within Kohl's?
They are just regular associates. They're anybody from the store manager to us that just work on the floor. I'm visual, and Amarillis working in the on the register. She's always getting those lines moving and going. And it's just anybody. All of the associates can take part in it.
That's wonderful.
It's just giving our time.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that you have done for the community. What do you have any sort of organizations that stick out, or organizations that you could think of that you have helped out in the past?
Oh yes, Habitat for Humanity.
Perfect.
We've
Yeah.
done. We did the women's build this year.
Yeah.
We also did just the regular build. We've worked at the store when they opened, so we love that. And Boys and Girls Club of Salem, we're big supporters of. We do a lot for them. We've also done some things with the Boston Children's Hospital. We like doing that as well.
Wonderful. As well as us here
As
at
well as
DCAT.
DCAT,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, I know the Kohl's they're here tonight. There's 3 of them kind of floating around, just really supporting us. When I know I touched on it before with Greg, but we are a small staff, a small organization, so it really does mean a lot when we are able to get that extra assistance just to help just speed the process up, or just make it a lot smoother, I guess, is the important key there. So thank you for helping us out tonight, as well as in past events, the trivia night, the Nightmare on Elm Street event that we had a couple weeks ago. It does mean a lot to us, so thank you so much.
Yeah, we had fun at the trivia night last year.
Yeah, and it was a blast, and it's coming again
Yep.
this following year, so please be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to let the people at home know?
Well, if there's any kind of organization that is out there that is looking for some donations and they meet the criteria, we are certainly, willing to look at it. It's not just Kohl's Danvers. I mean, it's from any of the Kohl's stores. So even if it's not a local, not in this local community, it could be, we have the stores in North Andover and Saugus, and we all work together as a team. There's many of us that do events together, for the 5
wonderful.
associates, so that we can meet that, the volunteer donation.
That's wonderful. Well, Camille and Marillis, thank you guys for stopping by today. We appreciate it. And I believe we're going to send it over to Gayla and Greg, if that is correct. Gayla and Greg, you over there?
Yeah, that's me. Hey, how's it going? Good. Well, welcome back, Gayla. We're on. So, yeah, we're just going to talk a little bit more about our open house, which is coming up on Saturday, November 23rd. I got it this time. From 10 to 12, we're going to have some food. So who's bringing the food for this one?
Breakaway. So there's going to be a nice little continental breakfast by Breakaway, one of our underwriters that we're glad supports us. So what a great way to get into DCAT and learn about all the equipment.
Yeah, it's for those who have not been here before, there's a lot of really cool technology you can learn, and it's just a fun way to collaborate with people and have a new activity that you do. So I would strongly recommend you come by, check out our facility. We're going to work together to make like a mock show that we can work on as a team. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Right, and membership here at DCAT, it's going to be one of the best bargains in the world.
Especially if you're a kid. Because if you're a student, it's free. And I think that's about as good of a bargain as you can get at this point.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's a recent change. So student membership is free, and that gives you the perks of being able to come in. We have kids who produce shows. There's some video game shows that we do. Noah's here tonight. He works on that one. And there's just all sorts of stuff you can do. And I always tell kids, and this is very important, that if you want to get an A on a project, if you make a video, you're like halfway there. You're going to beat everyone that writes a paper, because the teacher would much rather watch video than read a paper.
Absolutely.
So just throwing that out there as a former teacher. So yeah.
And then tomorrow night, I know Don Preston talked about it from Habitat for Humanity.
Yes.
The 15th.
Tomorrow night, the 15th, if you're watching this later, sorry you missed it, but yeah, is the Habitat auction. So you're going to be there, right?
I am. So Don Preston and myself are the MCs of the evening. Don and I host a show here at DCAT.
Yes.
Habitat for Humanity North Shore. So I will tell you that Don and I are going to have a little fun with the audience tomorrow night. So if you haven't bought your ticket yet, you can go and buy it as a walk-in. You can go on the Habitat website and get it. We have a lot of fun at DCAT. Don and I and
I know what it's going to be, and it's worth the price of admission.
It's going to be funny.
Absolutely.
I haven't even told Don what he has to do yet, so that's how funny it's going to be.
So good luck with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really great. And I just want to thank everyone who is here tonight, who volunteered behind the scenes, everyone in the control room. Thank you. It's a lot of work. Everyone from Kohl's who's here running back and forth, checking checklists, making sure that people are where they need to be. Everyone who watched, and all the guests. So thank you so much. So right now, Gail, anything else you want to add before we throw it back to our host to close out the evening?
I mean, we have holiday photos coming up and all that other excitement that we have coming. I tell you, I don't know. I think someone just walked in, though, so I'm not sure who that was.
So we'll find out.
We'll find out. Maybe David and John would want to talk a minute, and we can see if that's somebody that might have been running behind schedule.
All right.
Want them to miss their opportunity.
We're going to throw it to you, David and John.
Yeah, we don't mind talking for a minute or so.
I was going to say we can always blab on it. You threw it to the right two people. As a matter of fact, I actually want to talk about an event that I'm intimately connected with, and it's the St. Richard's Sounds of the Holiday Concert. It's our 9th annual. It's coming up on Sunday, December 8th at 4 o'clock. It is the North Shore Philharmonic Orchestra. The entire altar is filled with about 45 pieces of the orchestra. It plays the Pops holiday music. It's a phenomenal 2-hour event, and it's free. All we ask is that everybody that comes brings a sizable donation of non-perishable food. We collect it for the People-to-People Danvers Food Pantry, and we collect a truck worth of it every year. This is, as I said, our 9th year doing this, and it is a wonderful, wonderful concert. We pack the church. Doors open at 3:30. You can get there before that, but we can't let you in the church because the orchestra is rehearsing until 3:30. The concert is from 4 until about 6 o'clock. It's a wonderful, wonderful event, and hopefully you'll be able to join us and make it a family tradition.
Yeah, music is absolutely wonderful. I can speak to that. I haven't been able to attend in person itself, but we are able to film it. And if you've been to our offices in the front lobby, we have a couple televisions there. And just every so often, the actual performance itself will come on. And it's just one of those things where I just sit back. I stop work. I hope that's okay, Greg, but I just stop working for a moment. I just take in the music, and it's absolutely beautiful. Really, they do a great job.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And there's a sing-along at the end, and then we sing Silent Night, and the orchestra stops, and it's just the a cappella voices carrying that through, and everybody's standing across the aisles there at the end and singing Let There Be Peace on Earth and Let It Begin With Me. And it's just truly, truly an important night. It's great to show your kids that you can go to something and help others. that you get to benefit from that by enjoying the wonderful music, and it's a win-win-win all the way around. So yeah, it's a wonderful event.
And the date?
December 8th, Sunday, December 8th, 4 o'clock, St. Richard's Church on Forest Street in Danvers.
Perfect. So please mark that in your calendars. You do not want to miss that. And I think, that about wraps us up here
I think so,
tonight,
yeah.
John. I don't know if you have any sort of lasting thoughts.
I think it's just great. And again, I've believed this. As I said, I've lived in Danvers for 45 years, and there are so many wonderful, wonderful organizations. We just got the tip of the iceberg tonight with the ones who could actually come in and talk about their organizations. But the town of Danvers is so involved with organizations that are doing so much for so many. It's what makes Danvers a great place to live.
Yeah, I agree completely. I was relatively new to the Danvers community when I joined DCAT here, and I remember one of the things the then executive director, Dana Healy, as well as Ginny Ahern, who still works here as the office manager, one of the things they mentioned was Danvers really is a community that there's so much involvement going on within it. She also mentioned everybody knows each other to a certain extent. And you see that here tonight. Like people they take part in different organizations. They know each other, which just speaks to just how involved really people are and how much support there is out there. And you touched on it. We only were able to interview about 20 different nonprofits here tonight, but there are so many more out there. So if you are interested, if there's something that you feel like hopefully there was something here tonight that you felt like you could potentially get involved with, but if there isn't something here tonight, just keep an eye out, keep an ear out, because chances are there is something that you feel is going to hit you personally that you will want to support.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. So I think that's it.
That is it. So for the folks at home, I am David Rodriguez.
And I'm
This is
John Call.
Thank you to the crew who helped make this evening possible. Again, thank you to Kohl's, Texas Roadhouse for providing the food, all the people, Gayla, Greg, Ben, John, again, thank you so much.
Always
and
a pleasure.
Have a delightful evening, everybody.
Good night.